Hello, y'all. And I just want to say that I would make a great politician. I'm pro LGBTQA. If I ran for mayor or president or something, I would grant free rights to LGBTQA left and right. Okay, I would find ways to give government grants for housing to the homeless. I would find ways to work for you American people. I would try my hardest. And these are my earmarks that I'm making. So the first earmark is to give the transgender pro rights, not special rights, not equal rights. No, pro rights. I would be standing behind 100% women's rights choose. I am a female, born female, turned male when I was young. Okay. But I was originally born as a biological female. So I'm very proactive um, with uh, with rights of women, um, rights of transgenders. What else would I do? Let's see the city roads, and I walk those streets on a regular basis, and the roads are all tore up. I would I would open up jobs for construction workers and shit to come through and fix the city roads. Okay, I would try my hardest to fix the whole situation. Okay, now as far as prices on tax is concerned, I would be one that says 10.25 is too high on sales tax. Let's find a way to let's find a way to reimburse the government tax like you work a job, you own a business, okay? So I want to increase minimum wage to 18 bucks an hour from 15 because you cannot survive on $15 an hour. Where we come from is the business owners would be paying a tax into the government on a side note. It would be like 1 or 2% per business. Every business owner got to do it. That money, in turn, would go towards a tax revenue fund. It would be called TRF. It would be called the Tax Revenue Fund, TRF. That 1% that I'm getting from every business is going into a separate fund account. So that way, at the end of the year, when taxes are due, the business owner has already paid the tax for the employees. Okay, now how does business owners benefit from this? Okay, so then we're initiating free security guards. Okay, how's the money going to come from for that? How's that security guard going to get paid? Well, that comes from the 1% taxes that come in. Okay, so it'd be 1% on every $1, dropping the sales tax revenue down to zero point 0.9. Instead of 1.0, it'd be zero point 0.9, meaning 90 cents on every dollar. Okay, now the bus system is astronomical. 36 bucks a month for a bus pass if you're disabled, or 72 if you're not. Okay, and kids got to pay 250. So that means parent has two kids and her husband and her. That's $15 that a poor starving family does not have. So the 1% would actually then go to 2%, and 2% is not that much, business owners. It would be 2%. Okay, reducing the price of buses, enabling more people to get around, to get jobs, to gain gainful employment. Okay, for entrepreneurships, what would I do for entrepreneurship? Business owners. Okay, so they get a tax write off twice a year instead of just once. So it opens up every business to start writing shit off right from get go. Okay, now by writing these items off and I'm being real and level with the people here. Okay, by doing these very simple things, opening up revenue, and then if somebody's a crime victim, it could even go to 3%. In that case, if somebody's a crime victim, they can opt to have a hired bodyguard around them at all times that is registered law enforcement. So then that bodyguard is protecting that citizen. Not only are they getting government pay because they're federal and They're a government agency, but they would also be getting 1% to bodyguard a crime victim. Okay? That crime victim would have to qualify as a crime victim like me. Okay? And it would not be a predatory police officer. They would be examined heavily examined by a mental health professional. So the armed security guard would have to, or the armed bodyguard would have to go through counseling sessions. 5 years of counseling sessions. Then they could opt to earn an extra 1% on top of their $27 an hour as law enforcement officers. Now I see problems in the schools and, the kids shooting up the schools and stuff. And there will be a strict no bullying policy at every school. Okay? Which means if there is any type of bullying and it is reported, they would get time in jail. It wouldn't be a detention. It would be an automatic, you're going to Raymond Hall. Okay? These are the new ideas that I have for the regulations. Okay? Now we talk about economics. How do we fix this country when we're in debt, trillions of dollars to the Middle East? How are we going to fix this? Okay, so we do offshore drilling. Okay, that's a good idea, offshore drilling. It's not going to hurt the environment. Unlike what Al Gore wants to say. Al Gore is so full of smoke, it's not even funny. Obama good. Okay, so you see, I'm neutral straight down. I liked Bush Sr. I did not like Bush Jr. Okay, I did not like Mitt Romney. I loved Barack Obama. Love Barack Obama. He's great for this country. Okay, Hillary Clinton is another great one. Bernie Sanders is an idiot. Okay, Joe Biden could not be any worse of a president. We need somebody like Hillary or Barack Obama, Bill Clinton, or Bush Sr., not Jr. We need Bush Sr. in office. Reagan was bad for this country because he stopped a war on drugs. Yes, it was good that he stopped the war, but it took the drugs off the streets. Okay? And it enabled, by doing this, all the cops had the drugs. So the cops are in turn dealing to kids that are in gangs. So all it's doing is creating a snowball effect. Reagan had a great concept with the regulation of drugs in the country. He had a great concept. However, he didn't have it regulated good enough. It needed to be regulated more than that. Like law enforcement does not have access to these drugs. They're confiscated by ATF. And then ATF was monitored by DEA, who was monitored by CIA, who was monitored by the Secret Service. If that's truly what Reagan's intentions were. No, all Reagan and Bush Jr. wanted to do, and Joe Biden, people like that, all they want to do is fund an even bigger war against America. Why hurt your own country? Okay, and then we got an idiot who releases coronavirus. So how do we get that coronavirus under check? Nobody wants to wear a mask over their nose and their mouth. How do we solve that problem? Easy. Quarantines. Okay, this is part of martial law. So the way that you regulate it is you give one person in each room 1 hour out a day. Once they go back, the next person can come out and get an hour a day. Work it like the jail. In jail, you only get 1 hour out a day. Or you get 4 hours out. And once we have the coronavirus situation more under control and more regulated, then we can open up, you can come back out again and yada, yada, yada. This is the martial law that was coming into effect. Okay? So I have good ideas for regulating things. Okay, so now we've got the war on terror. How do we solve that? We have our ambassador with other countries, with all nations' ambassadors, and we have them all come together at a table. And only the ambassadors are there. The Navy SEALs are watching it. Taliban is watching it. ISIS is watching it. Syrian army is watching it. Jamaican police are watching it. Okay, so you got the elitists of the elite. As one going goes off, boom, they start firing rapid fire. And the building that the ambassadors meet in is bulletproof and grenade proof. Okay, then they settle a peace treaty amongst every nation. The lead president that is in there of all nations, that person comes out, male or female, they come out and say, we have reached a compromise. Everybody, peace across the Middle East, peace across America, peace across Jamaica, peace, because this is the negotiation and they lay it out in front of every military. Like, this is what is acceptable, this is what's not acceptable, this is what we will tolerate, this is what we will not tolerate. Okay, and then you have every military sign it under a Declaration of Independence. But it's not called the Declaration of Independence. It's called the Declaration of the United Nations Freedom. Okay, that's how you regulate it. That's how you do all that stuff. I'm a very smart cookie. Okay, and I have ways of turning this country around that would be feasible, that would actually work. So the business owners, they get a 1% break, but they got to pay an additional 1%. So the tax on them doesn't even really go up. If anything, they're getting a discount break on taxes to have to pay that 1% into government. Okay, and it's like 1% every week that they got to pay into government, but they're getting what is it? They're getting 10.1% on goods every day. So they're paying us 1%. We're kicking back 2%. Everybody's happy. Business owners get to run their business and stuff. Okay, and 40% on a business owner, that is way too high. Okay, and where's all this money going to? It's not going anywhere. It's going in government officials' pockets. Let's dump their pockets and see how much money they've stolen, embezzled, money laundered. Okay? And then they're after the simple criminal based on fraud and all this other stuff. They're after the simple criminal. They're not after the big fish. They're too scared of the big fish. Okay, they're after the small criminal to roll over on the big fish. Which, if I was elected in office, all that would change. The first thing that would come into effect, every ambassador across the world meets in a room with one United Nations, not American president, United Nations leader. Then they're discussing the ins and outs of the country. They're debating it back and forth until there is a solid compromise amongst every nation to get along with each other. Then the leader of the United Nations comes out and says, okay, here we have the solution, we have the problem fixed. Here's what we need to do. Okay, if you like my ideas, and I would like to run for office, I got to get my record sealed. 9 wrongful arrests, third wrongful arrest in. The judge told the cops he'd throw them in prison, put me in witness relocation program. And I was shocked. Like, a judge actually has my, because he realized it was all based in hate crime towards a transgender me. Okay, so I've got good ideas for this country and every nation. I got everybody's best interest at heart. Consider me your mommy, if you will, if I'm in office. And I ain't gonna regulate a small fry to 320 grams of salt. No. Eat that small fry and make it filled to the brim. It's not gonna hurt you. If you have fear of that, restaurant owners and stuff, and, health nuts, if you have fear of that, then obviously you don't have touch of reality. You need to put sea salt in the fries and not iodized salt that will clot the arteries. Sea salt is actually a healer. So while you're eating the fries, this stuff like that might be able to cure some of the common diseases like coronavirus. Worth a shot, then none of us have to wear face masks because the coronavirus is so concealed in such a small quantity that it doesn't branch out and spread like it does. Every country needs to have it to where, for at least the time being, to where 1 or 2 people in every city get to come out for 1 or 2 hours a day, and that is it. Okay? And it's manageable. Why do you need to be out 6, 7 hours a day at a bar? There's no reason for it. Oh, so that you can get drunk and then jump behind the wheel? No. Drinking and driving, there would be more strict punishment on drinking and driving. Okay? The drug laws would be stricter. The weapon patrol would be stricter. Okay? Because nobody needs to pack a weapon. The only thing that you're going to do with that weapon is hurt an innocent. Nobody needs to pack a weapon. And this is what I would bring to the table. If you like it, try voting this year, and I'll try, or when the election comes, and I'll try running for office. Marilyn Banco here, signing off.